Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Beata and I'm thrilled to have you here. This channel is all about diving into the exciting world of business management systems, sustainability, environmental management, and quality management. Welcome back to another exciting episode. Today, we are diving deep into the world of management system audits. We will cover everything you need to know about audits, from what they are, their objectives, and the various types of audits, to essential audit-related terms, the principles of auditing, and the stages of the audit process. To kick things off, let's break down the concept of audits. According to a definition in the standard, an audit is a systematic, independent, and documented process of gathering audit evidence and objectively evaluating it. This is done to determine how well the audit criteria are being met. Now, that might sound a bit technical, so let's break it down. Imagine you are a manager in charge of a quality management system. You want to make sure that all the actions being taken within your system are aligned with the correct procedures, processes, work instructions, and guidelines. An audit helps you assess whether your management system is on track, if it's being properly implemented and maintained, and whether it complies with the planned arrangements. For instance, consider a company that manufactures electronic devices. An audit would examine whether their production processes adhere to the industry standards and guidelines. But why do we conduct audits in the first place? Well, there are several key objectives. One major goal is to evaluate the current state of a system. Think of it as taking a snapshot of how things are being done and then comparing it to the ideal scenario. This helps you identify any gaps or areas for improvements. For example, let's say you are running a food safety management system in a restaurant. An audit would assess whether your kitchen procedures are in line with food safety regulations. Audits also aim to help refine and enhance existing systems. They pinpoint where changes could be made for smoother operations and better outcomes. Consider an environmental management system in a manufacturing plant. An audit might suggest ways to reduce waste and energy consumption. Audits offer valuable insights to management or clients. It is like providing a report card on the performance of the system. For example, a financial audit of a company's books would give insights into its financial health to potential investors. In some cases, audits lead to the certification of a system. This means an independent body verifies that the system meets certain standards. For example, certifications for quality management systems validate a company's commitment to quality. Certifications for environmental management systems validate a company's commitment to the environment and sustainability. Certifications for occupational health and safety management systems validate a company's commitment to employee safety and well-being. Now, let's look at the principles that guide the auditing process. One vital thing to remember is that an audit is not about control or inspection. It is more about evaluation and confirmation. Audits bring a lot of benefits to the table, so let's explore them. Firstly, audits give an opportunity for improvement. Audits open the door to identifying areas that need enhancement and thus lead to continuous improvement. For example, a safety audit at a construction site could uncover ways to make the workplace safer for employees. Secondly, audits can be used for proactive problem solving. By catching issues early, audits allow for swift preventative actions. For example, an security audit might reveal vulnerabilities that can be fixed before any breach occurs. Thirdly, audits boost trust. Customers and stakeholders tend to trust a company more if they know its operations are regularly audited for compliance and quality. For example, an organic food certification reassures consumers that the products are genuinely organic. Also, audits help in improving supply chain management and developing suppliers. Audits can help suppliers refine their processes, ensuring better quality products for everyone involved. For example, a customer audit of the supply chain of a fashion brand could lead to better working conditions in factories. And finally, audits provide a feedback loop. Audits provide feedback on corrective and preventive actions and may guide future decision-making. For example, if a software company addresses bugs highlighted in an audit, their product becomes more reliable. Audits might seem complex, but they are all about making things better, whether it is systems, processes, or even customer trust. Audits are not about catching someone doing something wrong. They are about making sure we are all on the right track. Now, let's expand on the different types of audits and look at the key definitions that are essential for you to understand. The first type of audit is a first-party audit. These audits are also called internal audits, and they are like an organization's self-check. They are a management tool for continuous improvement. For example, a retail store could internally audit its stock management process to ensure products are well organized and up to date. A second type of audit is a second-party audit. Second-party audits sometimes are called supplier audits or customer audits. Those audits are all about evaluating suppliers or partners. They help in selecting reliable suppliers and even aid in improving their systems. Think of it as a helping hand to make sure everyone's on the same quality page. Such audits usually are very helpful to manage risks related to the supply chain. For example, a car manufacturer might audit their parts supplier to ensure the components meet quality standards and expectations. And finally, the third type of audit is a third-party audit. These audits are conducted by the independent certification body and are like the independent judges of quality. They confirm whether your system complies with certain standards. Imagine you are running an eco-friendly business. An external certification audit could certify your green practices. For example, an organic farm might undergo a third-party audit to verify its adherence to organic farming regulations. Now that we know different types of audits, let's break down some key definitions that are vital to understanding the audit landscape. The auditee is the organization being audited. Let's say you are auditing a software company. The software company is the auditee. An auditor is a qualified individual who conducts audits. Just like a detective, they look for evidence to verify compliance. For example, in the realm of data security, an auditor might assess whether a company's cybersecurity measures meet industry standards. The audit team is made up of one or more auditors who conduct the audit. Sometimes technical experts join the team if their knowledge is needed for a thorough examination. For example, during a health and safety audit at a construction site, the audit team might include technical experts in construction regulations. The audit client is the person or organization requesting the audit. Imagine you are an educational institution. You could request an audit of your teaching methods to ensure quality. In this case, you are an audit client. Or a charity organization might request an audit of their financial records to ensure transparency. An audit program is a schedule of planned audits within a specific time frame. To determine the frequency, several factors are considered, like past audit results, new technologies, and changes in the organization. For example, a pharmaceutical company might have an audit program to regularly assess its manufacturing processes for compliance with industry standards. The audit program may say that in January a customer service process will be audited, in February procurement, in March human resources, in April finance management process, and so on. When it comes to audits, planning is crucial. That is where certain terms come into play. An audit plan outlines the actions and organizational details for an individual audit. It covers objectives, responsible individuals, audit team members, language, dates, locations, and more. It gives exact information about what, when, and by whom will be audited. For example, in a food safety audit for a restaurant chain, the audit plan would include assessing kitchen hygiene, staff training, and food storage practices. Audit criteria are the standards or requirements against which the audit is conducted. Think of them as the benchmark criteria. It could be regulatory requirements, standards, or procedures. For example, for a software audit, the criteria might include coding standards, documentation practices, and software testing procedures. The audit scope defines the boundaries of the audit. Audit scope will tell us what areas, departments, or processes are being audited. For example, in a manufacturing audit, the scope might focus on a specific production line, checking for quality control measures and adherence to safety protocols. Audit evidence refers to the records, statements, or facts that support the conclusions drawn during the audit. It is the tangible proof. For example, in an environmental audit of a company, evidence could include records of waste disposal practices and energy consumption reports. The world of audits is very complex, with different types and a range of definitions. Now we will be looking at the essential principles that shape auditing, making it a trustworthy and effective tool for monitoring and enhancing business processes. These principles are like a compass guiding auditors towards excellence. Principle 1. Reliability as a foundation of professionalism. At the core of auditing is the principle of reliability. This embodies ethical conduct, honesty, and responsibility. It is about being competent in conducting audits, being impartial, and remaining vigilant against any influences that might compromise the audit's integrity. For example, imagine you are auditing a pharmaceutical company's research and development practices. Your impartial evaluation ensures that the results accurately reflect the company's efforts. Principle 2. Honest reporting. Honesty is paramount in auditing. Auditors must present audit results accurately, without bias or distortion. This includes noting any challenges faced during the audit process, like differing opinions between the audit team and the auditee. Principle 3. Professional diligence. Auditors must uphold professional diligence, showing dedication and sound judgment throughout the audit process. This involves being knowledgeable about industry standards, conducting assessments rationally, and making informed judgments. Principle 4. Confidentiality. Confidentiality is key in auditing. Auditors must handle sensitive information discreetly and securely, refraining from using confidential data for personal gain or harming the auditee. For example, when auditing a healthcare institution's patient records, maintaining confidentiality is crucial to protect patients' privacy and sensitive medical information. Principle 5. Independence. Independence is the bedrock of objectivity in auditing. Auditors must remain unbiased and independent from the area being audited, ensuring the credibility of their conclusions. Principle 6. Evidence-based approach. Auditing relies on evidence-based assessments. Auditors use credible methods to draw reliable conclusions, enhancing the systematic audit process. For example, in a cybersecurity audit, gathering evidence of security measures implemented, such as firewalls and encryption, validates the company's claims of safeguarding digital assets. Principle 7. Risk-based approach. The risk-based approach integrates risk assessment into every phase of auditing. Auditors consider potential risks and opportunities in planning, conducting, and reporting audit results. For example, when auditing a supply chain, a risk-based approach ensures that potential disruptions are identified, helping the company develop contingency plans. These guidelines shape auditors into ethical, knowledgeable, and impartial professionals, ensuring that audits provide accurate, valuable insights. Now, let's take a brief look at the audit process. The audit process can be seen from two key angles. Firstly, there is the management of the audit program. Management of the audit program involves setting program objectives, assessing risk factors, implementing, monitoring, and refining the audit program. Secondly, there is a process for the execution of a specific individual audit. This process covers everything from initiation of the audit to preparing and distributing the audit report. Effective resource identification and allocation are important for a successful audit program. When it comes to resource identification, several factors come into play. We are talking about financial and time resources, audit methods, the availability of skilled auditors and technical experts, the audit program scope, associated risks and opportunities, travel arrangements, time zone impacts, technological tools, required equipment, documented information, and even safety requirements such as personal protective equipment. The audit program manager is the person who coordinates audit schedules, assembles a capable audit team including a lead auditor and technical experts, ensures adequate resources, and oversees all program-related activities. The individual audit starts with the initiation phase. This step aims to validate the feasibility of the audit plan, ensuring it aligns with goals. During the initiation stage, the lead auditor establishes initial contact with the auditee, discussing key matters such as communication channels, audit permissions, goals, methods, team composition, schedule, and safety protocols. The second phase of an individual audit is preparing for audit activities. During this phase, the lead auditor creates a comprehensive audit plan outlining scope, criteria, locations, time allocation, methods, and resources. This includes assigning tasks based on team members' competencies while maintaining impartiality and independence. The plan also covers logistical and communication aspects, such as travel arrangements and language. During the preparatory phase, auditors need to understand the auditee's organization and processes. This involves looking into documentation, organizational structure, policies, process maps, procedures, past audit findings, and even non-conformity data. Based on the review, auditors prepare a checklist. This helps auditors stay on track and ensure no critical details are missed during the audit process. The checklist usually contains open-ended questions, encouraging auditees to provide detailed responses. The next phase is conducting the audit activities. The audit team typically starts with an opening meeting where roles, methods, communication, resources, and expectations are reconfirmed. The opening meeting is hosted by the lead auditor. Throughout the audit, auditors collect evidence to determine conformity, generate findings, and identify opportunities for improvement. Various methods like interviews, observations, and document reviews ensure a comprehensive audit. As the audit activities draw to a close, it is time for the closing meeting. This formal gathering, led by the lead auditor, presents the audit findings and conclusions in a clear, understandable manner. It is a platform to discuss the audit outcomes, corrective action plans, potential enhancements, and recommendations for improvement. Transparency is key here. The next phase is preparing the audit report. The audit report is the culmination of auditors' hard work. The lead auditor ensures all compliance and non-compliance aspects are documented objectively. The report needs to be complete, accurate, concise, and transparent. Any omitted areas or unresolved discrepancies should be acknowledged. Once approved, the report is distributed to relevant stakeholders. After the audit, auditee is conducting post-audit actions. Post-audit actions might include corrective, preventive, or improvement actions taken by the auditee. These actions, their verification, and even follow-up audits contribute to continuous enhancement. And there you have it, an in-depth look at the audit process from initiation to completion. I hope this comprehensive guide has put light on the complexities of audits. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content. Until next time, happy auditing!